We put this podcast on every single Wednesday at 10 p.m. and then it is uploaded over the coming days onto YouTube channel Smacksy 101. Tonight we've got 5 guests, including myself. I am a guest here, of course. We're going to be covering 5 topics over the course of 2 hours, and we're just going to be chilling, vibing, talking about these current issues and seeing where it goes. I thank you all for being here. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of this podcast, Little Rick and Waterworn. You can check both of those out at littlerick.co.uk and waterworn.co.uk. Hey, live that shit, man. Be about that life, you know what I'm saying? Exclamation mark Waterworn and exclamation mark Little Rick in the chat right now to get yourself some incredible offers and deals from those great companies. Absolutely fantastic companies. Right, chat. That was my ickle introduction. You now know what we're here to do. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and introduce our distinguished guests. Let's head on over and find out who we got this week. Let's go.
Oh.
Yo, people, what's happening? Yo, how you all doing, man?
Hello.
Good.
Spartan's dusted again, man. It's all good. It's all good. It's always AFK for this part. No. Here he is. Right, people, this is our cast for this week, so I'm going to go around and introduce everyone so you can find out a little bit more about them on a personal level. So first of all, on my right is Mike Butcher. Hello, Mike. Hope you're well. Please introduce yourself.
Very well. Hello, I'm Mike Butcher. I have a purple room and I enjoy skateboarding.
Easy clap. Easy clap. Welcome to the stream and the podcast, my friend. Thank you for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
Upon his right, we have a man like the Dutch giant himself. From the motherland, the masked extraordinaire, the Spartan guy. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Hello, I'm Spartan and my room is blue. And I'm a Twitch streamer plus a dipshit voice actor.
A dipshit voice actor this week. I like it, man. You're skillful in both, though. That's the thing, man. You're very humble. You've got skills in both those criteria. Yeah, no, true. But thank you for joining us this week, mate. I look forward to your takes on many of these topics. And indeed, your room is blue, my friend. Indeed it is. Next up, we have the man from the place where the water goes down backwards in the drain. Riffloss. Welcome, my friend. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks. Riffloss, studying software engineering and do streaming occasionally. So far, it's only been about once a month, but I want to try and do it a bit more often.
He's gonna get that affiliation this month. Definitely gonna get that this month. Put them hours in, bro. We'll make it happen. No doubt. But thank you for joining us, Riffloss, and again, thank you for getting up so damn early, mate, to be with us from halfway around the world.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No worries, man. It's a pleasure. And last of all, but not least of all, the man without a cam, but the most beautiful one here nonetheless. Wiley 109, also known as Josh Joe Wiley. How you living, man? How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm alright. I'm a small-time musician. Just living life as it comes, really.
Hell yeah, mate. Hell yeah. You want to just quickly give a little plug of what you've been working on recently?
Oh, I've got a couple of little songs that I'm working on, but you can hear them on my Instagram channel, which is underneath my chin.
That's it, chat. Go and check it out on Josh_Joel_Wiley on his Instagram, and show some support on that new ting. You get me? Let me just adjust the levels here. I'm just gonna turn Wiley up a ickle bit, and we're gonna turn Riffloss down a tiny bit, and we should be gravy, baby. So that everyone in chat, this is your cast for the week. This is the Reasoning 101, and this week it's called the Age of Fusion. Oh yes, that's right. We're going to be covering 5 topics as usual and seeing what everyone feels about said topics. So chat, we will start now with the first topic. The Chinese state media has warned the UK of, and I quote, public and painful retaliation to the threats on Huawei.
It's an interesting one. What do you think the retaliation could be?
War.
Any ideas? Do you think it's that severe?
Definitely not, but still.
I really hope not.
You asked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I'm not sure really.
What could they do on the same level, sort of take away from us on a technological communications level? I don't know.
Well, I found out that they actually put a lot of restrictions on Australia a few years ago. I think it's 5 years ago. It was on things like barley, and it was things that they import and export. So they started putting massive restrictions on it and affected the economy in a massive way that they didn't even, Australia didn't even realise it would have an effect on them. And so I think they do things like that, they take tactics like that rather than even going for things in the same sector, so they're not going to pull electrical companies from the UK, but things that matter to us, they might, something a bit more important, man, like wasabi import or something. I don't know, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think it's like they are one of the biggest importers of stuff in the world. Oh, that's what they do. They buy everyone else's products and then sell them back so they can really have a lot of power over a lot of countries.
It's true.
Yeah.
So I'm sure any export UK has, I'm sure they could put some tariffs on that.
Yeah, what do we export? I think we're just begging for everything at the moment, man. Now we've left the EU, we're running out of options, dude.
There's if they decide to retaliate by restricting trade, that's really bad for our economy as well. Like that is, you know what I mean?
Because surely there must still be some manufacturing in the UK and stuff. Like there must be some kind of export countries, like most countries have.
Of course. Yeah. But what it is, I don't know. Like what the main thing is. I'm gonna have to look it up.
And even if it's just like punishments on imports, that could still mean a lot. Like let's say all imports increase by 20% in price or something, that would definitely affect a lot of the UK economy for sure.
Oh hell yeah!
Especially now that they are out of the EU.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, maybe Australia. I know they're in talks with the UK with some trade deals, but I think that's probably the US as well. But still, China is usually pretty up there with the biggest trade partners as far as.
Yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to Wiley109 and the Spartan guy for that host. And Spartan, I'll have a little sip on a drink, mate. Thanks for, redeeming those 100 points, mate. I'll have a little sipple for you.
UK's biggest exports are machinery, including computers and vehicles. Third which being gems and precious metals.
Okay, Spartan. Too many hydrations now, bruh.
Yeah, so heavy machinery was it?
It just says machinery, including computers, is the top of 15.6% of total exports. Cars is 10.8% at $50 billion, and gems is 9%, and precious metals. So,
yeah, I saw here they may take a tit-for-tat trade war on things such as automobiles, getting caught in the middle. That does not sound great for our economy, bro.
No, we're gonna seriously struggle, man.
Yeah, dude. Because I know for a fact we've been struggling during the pandemic, just with things like, farm foods, right? Like we were struggling to sort of like get rid of it, being able to trade it. And then
Yeah.
we were running out of things as well, right? We're screwed, dude. I'll be honest. We're closing our doors very quickly, and it's not helping us. Oh, chat. Hold up a minute. I just got to take a moment and thank Wiley109 for the 8th month in a row Twitch Prime subscription. Hey, big up the podcast family, my G. Thank you so much, bro. What a legend. Dang. 8 months, man. Making me feel old. Yo, Ken, what up, man? Welcome to the stream,
Yo,
bro.
Ken.
Thank you for joining us. Hope you are well. So it's heavy machinery then, we found out. Is that correct? That they're most likely to put tax on or slow down the export of. What was it you read there?
Machinery, computing is the top export. Vehicles is the second export, and gems and precious metals is the third. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mate, imagine trying to get a PC and it's going to be more expensive than ever.
True. Actually true.
They got a
You
fucking
get your graphics card fast.
I didn't know this, but in a lot of parts of Europe, it's actually quite hard to get a decent gaming PC set up. Did you know this? Like in some parts
No.
of Europe, it's so hard for them to actually access all the pieces. Is it oh bro, what are the the Slavic region? What are the countries surrounding that
Yeah.
area? I've heard like it's
yeah,
almost
over there it's really
Huawei.
hard to. Yeah, it's really hard to freaking get PC parts over there.
yeah.
Because
How
I've got a couple friends over there, and they literally have to import it themselves.
yeah, I've seen this. So the charges are
Yeah.
ridiculous, right?
Yeah. So what actually a couple of friends of mine have done is basically ask their friends if they needed part and just gone on a road trip to get PC parts from another country.
Yeah, man. Because there's a streamer on Twitch called Andy Pyro, and he mentioned once about when he was younger, everyone in Finland would just they'd stream, right? And they didn't have access to some parts, so they would like go on these massive like weekend adventures to literally acquire other parts from like the opposite country because they just had them in the shops. But it was like a whole adventure, and that's how they started getting into like building their own PCs and stuff. They had to actually travel to get bits and then come back and build it. It's quite interesting, man. I can imagine doing that in the UK. Not these days.
Yeah.
So who knows? Soon we might be like that, right? If this actually happens, if this ban happens.
yeah, maybe.
I hope for you
Yeah.
guys you don't.
Yeah, man. You're right about that, bro. That would suck. I mean, I know for a fact since the pandemic, the UK has taken a bit of a step back and a look at the automobile industry in terms of closing down, was it car lots and things like that? I've heard a lot about that in the news. That a lot of them aren't, because people aren't going to be able to buy, for the next 6 to 9 months. People won't actually be able to purchase or be even looking into it. So, mate, if we get a massive increase on the price of said cars, then that industry in the UK is going to fail massively. There's no doubt about it. I hope they don't attack any other sort of tech. I mean, we've say again.
So China makes pretty much everything.
It's true. It's
They
true.
could attack whatever they wanted.
It's true.
Quite
And
quiet, Wiley.
yeah, you have gone really quiet actually. I don't know why.
Is that any better?
Yeah, it's loads better, man. Don't know what's happening there. So I mean, I think this is a bit of a sort of empty threat, as it were, at the moment. I think they're maybe putting political pressure on the UK to maybe change their decision slightly, because I've also read that because Boris has put in such a long period of taking the equipment out of service in the UK, that there could still be massive changes, to his to the decision. So there's wiggle room, right? We've got like 5
Yeah.
years of wiggle room to actually make any changes to it, but
And I guess
Yeah.
perhaps after the next election, because that would fall in line, that they could just change it anyway if they disagree with it. So
Precisely, yeah. So again, a lot of these things are, well, sadly and wrongfully politically based, right? But I mean, it all again comes from Trump trying to push the narrative of this, this country spying, right? That's the whole idea behind these components getting taken out of action in the UK. Is to stop that. So I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, they've also been. I think a big problem is now that I'm not sure if you've heard of the 5 Eyes or 4 Eyes or whatever it is, where it's Australia, America, Canada, England, and then.
No, I haven't heard about
I'm not
that.
sure if it's Ireland. Like they share a lot of like information, like related to military and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And all the other countries, they've said that the UK gets Huawei, it's gonna be really hard to keep that. What would you call it? Like the integrity.
Oh, okay, of the entire network. I see what you mean.
Yeah, because if say China can then get access through Huawei to all of Australia's and America's and Canada's information, then that's pretty bad for the partnership.
Yeah.
So I think that's also why there's so much pressure on Boris to not do it.
True.
Because it's like all their allies basically don't want it to happen. So that's why it's like pretty tough.
does make sense, I guess.
So China's retaliation to any sort of outlash with their security is always, we're going to invoke tariffs, basically, right? These days. That's just what they do.
I think it has been for many years.
Yeah, I suppose even back to the days of the Silk Road, right? Their trade, that is the main trade route, isn't it? To be honest, for anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's drugs or bloody diamonds, mate, it's still coming through there. We've noticed. So, oh man. Well, I mean, I think it is politically based, especially the wordings that I found in all the articles. It does just seem like it's a political back and forth right now. But we shall see. Only time will tell. But it was just a couple of weeks ago we were discussing this topic. And I didn't think it was going to be, like this. I didn't think tariffs were going to be implemented. I thought it was just us pulling away from a certain company, if I'm honest. I didn't think it was going to go to this extreme. But time will tell.
Yeah. Where it affects the peace.
Yeah, man. Well, anyone else got any more to say on that piece? It was just a catch up really on that topic because we've been covering it. So there's not much else to say about that one, I'll be honest.
I might just quickly that like also the reason why, like you just said, that you went to show that it was going to turn political is hard because most of the countries, like when you ban Huawei because it is the biggest Chinese company, like I'm pretty sure it's pretty up there with like the biggest companies. It is basically an attack, and the reason is that why they're banning it is because the Chinese government can get access to their information. So it is that's the problem, that a lot of most Chinese companies, the government has a 20% stake or something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So
okay.
So legally they can get access to the information.
So it's all. So any attack on said companies is always going to be political because they've got an investment in it, right? They've got a 20% interest in it. Okay.
So it's not like an entirely government country, but company, but it is.
Yeah, they have
part of it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That makes a massive difference then. Holy shit.
Yeah, so because they are like communist, so
yeah, well,
yeah,
it's a communist party. There's no doubt about that. Damn, bro. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, I had no idea that they actually had investment in it. I did not know that.
Yeah, I think basically if you want to be a Chinese company, I'm pretty sure that's why, say, like World of Warcraft in China, that's owned by a different company for that reason. Because they didn't want Blizzard to be like, directly Chinese.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Damn. Bro, we could cover a whole podcast on this subject actually,
Yeah.
especially down the route of gaming. That would be quite interesting. Because I've also heard about things that they've taken out of WoW for China. There's like certain things that they've allowed and taken out as well, like certain like gore. Not that there's gore in WoW. It's like,
They do that with other games as well. So like skulls in certain like so Rainbow Six Siege, for example, for China they got a different layout of the game. There's no, I think it's China anyway. They have no skulls in it because they're not allowed it, that type of content in that country. Well, skulls.
that's actually crazy because when I was a kid, I remember I think it was on PS1 or PS2. There was like a demo for was it like I think it was a Manhunt or something, and then like the game never came out because it was banned in the EU. But it came from China, and I remember like getting my hands on a Chinese copy, and it was like, it's scary as
To
fuck
be
game,
honest-
bro. Not gonna lie. But like they get away with stuff like that all the time. There, I'm confused why.
Yeah, I think it was China anyway, but yeah, I don't
think-
know.
To be honest, Sea of Thieves would then be literally impossible to have there because it is literally about pirates and
Yeah.
pirate skulls are just one thing that you can't.
What
not
are we
have.
questing for today? Bunnies. Bunnies.
Yeah.
Not the skeletons.
I've got
the
the
Pretty
bunnies.
much all the enemies are skeletons.
Yeah, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, surely.
Yeah,
I can't imagine Sea of Thieves being popping in China. To be fair.
Yeah, but they almost get like the game developers have to just create a whole different like copy and layout
Yeah.
for certain games. I think it's pretty ridiculous. If you ask me, like,
That's what I mean. I feel like certain things are allowed from there. They're allowed like not gore, but they're allowed maybe like slightly raunchy or provocative, and also like very scary, but like not gore, and not certain sexual things. Like it's a very. But do you know what I mean? Like they get away with things that we wouldn't put out, but they also stop things. It's like,
oh yeah.
it's like I don't get. I don't know. It's so really weird. It's
Yeah,
fucking
just a
shameless,
very
dude.
different culture.
It's straight out Squad W, if you ask me.
Yeah, weeps out. Am I right?
Hang on, let me just check this guy in chat. Oh, it's a picture of an anime character. Alright, dude, you're banned. Oh, mate. Hey, shouts out to Trainwrecks TV, man. Inspiration behind this here podcast. Let's go. Alright, chat. Well, that's I think that's the conclusion to that first topic, unless anyone else has any points they wish to make on that. You all gravy,
No.
baby? Alright.
Good.
Wow. Moving on to the next one. Topic 2 of today. The US and the UK have recently accused Russia of testing a weapon-like projectile in space. And didn't we touch on this the other week? I think someone actually
did.
yeah, on Space Wars, right? Didn't we touch on
Space
it?
Force, yeah.
Yeah, Space Force and stuff going on up there right now. Like, didn't we? Yeah, I believe we touched on
Yeah.
this.
What was-
I like how we're just starting out the first two topics taking on every world superpower.
Well, mate, I've got to do something on my Wednesday nights, you know.
Yeah.
Battle of the Countries. That's great.
I'm actually putting you all up against each other in the podcast, and you don't know.
Yeah, now we'll be in the Russian and Chinese state, like most wanted
yeah,
people.
I've got my money on Rift Loss.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He knows
I'm the
score.
first one to disappear from existence, basically.
So, guys, does anyone really know about this topic at all? Has anyone heard about this?
I don't know, but
Yeah, I've definitely heard about it.
Probably happened.
Yeah. So obviously, Russia is claiming that it's not a weapon, but the issue is the tech they're sending out can be used as a weapon.
It's more than likely a weapon. Let's just be honest.
They're like-
Be honest. It's
they're like-
definitely going to be a weapon.
Yeah.
Or used for a weapon.
you know, it's high-powered, multifunctional, it carries high laser beams, but you know, it's not a weapon. Can't be a weapon.
It
there is
created
that.
the laser beams.
But, well, that is one of the strongest weapons that they have in space warfare right now. And I know we spoke about laser weaponry in terms of like guns with lasers before, but actually lasers being pointed at satellites that are already in orbit to deflect the ability of gaining information can help massively. And I've heard that and read that there's a lot of tactics like that used in space warfare currently. So it's like it's more about disrupting your counterpart to gain access to information on the ground. So like if you knock a certain satellite out for a short period of time, you can then possibly gain access to the resources that's communicating through, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, bro.
Stop them from having access to it as well.
Indeed.
Which is probably an almost bigger advantage.
I'm just gonna take 20
If you can
sips
stop
of
your,
this drink. Sorry.
Your enemies from having access to the satellites. But it is pretty interesting how we just discussed Space Force, and then we were kind of saying, oh yeah, there's not really any need for it, and then about 1 week later, suddenly there's satellite weapons in space.
Yeah.
Well, not technically weapons, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the beginning. Did you also see, talking space, that the Pentagon have admitted to finding spacecrafts that weren't built on Earth?
I have indeed, and hold that thought for a moment, because actually we're sadly going to have to say goodbye to Spartan for the evening. He's actually got to go and fix his UFO right now, mate. Out in the backyard. So Spartan, I do thank you for coming through, mate. I appreciate you being here, mate. Hope all is well off stream, bro, and let us know you're all good, man. But thank you for stopping by. If you want to shout out yourself, bro, before you leave, feel free.
Sure. Follow me on Twitch. I mostly stream Overwatch at the moment, and I do a bit. It's basically shit posting, but live. What I do.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you for joining us, bro. And yeah, you have a good evening, man. And we will see you soon, my G. Bless up, man.
See you later, buddy.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Yeah.
See you, man.
Okay, we're gonna have to rejiggle the cameras. But Ragnar, if you can hold that topic for me, Mo, and I'll get this sorted out.
Is pod racing next, boys? Let's go.
Yeah.
Pod racing, eh? On Tatooine.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Riffloss, we could high five right now.
Yeah, wrong side. Other side.
There you go.
Other side.
Other side, Riffloss.
Oh.
He's just caressing your
He's just stroking.
Yeah, I was looking at Discord.
Oh my
I
God.
don't like Discord.
So
Mate,
scarred.
let me stroke your palm.
You've just been violated on stream, mate.
I like it. It's fine.
Riffloss, in 10 years' time, you're gonna get a fucking twit
That's
longer from Ragnar,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah. I'll definitely delete this. I don't want this done up.
Indecent touching in the workplace, bro. God damn. Fucking hell.
No, it's consensual. It's okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, true,
Yeah.
actually.
As long as
True.
we get a statement on stream that it's consensual, then it's fine.
True. Oh man, good one, dude. Good one. Fuck. Sorry, man. I'll just readjust this. My apologies.
It's
Hey,
all
for all
good.
you YouTubers out there, look how scuffed a live stream truly is. You wouldn't know anything about this, would you? Hi guys, my name's Smaxy101, and I'm here today to bring you some fun.
Why is Kermit here? What I do now?
Yeah, no, that.
Oh, bro, this is so fucking scuffed. Okay. God damn it. Hey, week 4, it's got to be a bit scuffed, isn't it?
Edit it to the max. Let's go.
Fuck.
Yeah, especially if the the Scuff podcast is your inspiration. So
Yeah, true. In fact, I went back and watched the first ones of the Scuff podcast, and it was scuffed, bro. Like, this was professional on the first episode compared to theirs. Like, that shit was so bad. But still, okay, we're all good now. You're all back in place.
Everyone, back to places. Let's go.
Back to places. Change places. Oh god. Okay, let's just put Raggedy there, and we're all good. Right. Apologies. We came off topic there. Spartan, hope you're all well, mate. You have a good night, bro, and we'll speak to you hopefully on the next podcast, if not before. As he said, you can catch him on his Twitch channel, The Spartan Guy. So, as we were talking about before, it was the US and the UK have accused Russia of testing a weapon like projectile in space. We also heard mentions of this. Riffloss, you were saying it's quite funny that how we were speaking about Space Force and now suddenly it's a real thing needed.
Yeah. And also with the weapon like projectile. Do you know? Because I think it's one of the Call of Duties. Don't you have there's a mission where they have like this satellite that shoots like metal rods or something, like where it can bombard Earth. Isn't that like a thing in one of the Call of Duties?
Actually, you're right. Isn't
Where
it
you
in
have
Infinite
orbital
Warfare?
bombardment or something?
Yeah.
It sounds
Halo,
familiar.
Nah, in Infinite Warfare. No, you're in Infinite Warfare. You're on a space station and stuff, like fighting in it. I'm pretty sure Advanced Warfare, one of them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a kill streak, right? That's what it's called, isn't it? Kill streak. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Orbital strike. Yeah.
Is that what the do?
Is that what?
Or something
Sorry.
like that. Is that what the weapon is like? Because she says it's like a weapon like projectile. So that's the first thing I thought of, or maybe they shoot like a.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Because like in space, if you just shoot, you could even throw a rock, and then that could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean,
Like anything that's a bit heavy.
I don't think it's actually able to fire anything from it other than lasers. I know for a fact it can shoot lasers. And that was freaking laser beam, bro. That is the main concern of the the opposing governments. They're concerned about that disrupting their satellites, but also this particular projectile, if as it were, has been coming awfully close to other satellites, so they've been intentionally pushing its trajectory towards opposing countries' satellites, and they're worried, man. There's no proof though. There's no proof they've done anything. So I don't know. Again, it's very politically driven, bro. I don't know.
They're just trying to make. I don't know. Do you reckon they're just trying to come up with something to provoke Russia, maybe?
Possibly.
I don't know why, but.
You don't want to provoke Russia though. Shove everyone, do you? Sure.
I have no idea, but, this is the world we live in.
Don't poke the rabid dog with a stick, they say, mate. As the old saying goes.
Yeah. Now you're on the number one Russian kill list after that one.
Yes.
Rapid dog.
Oh yeah, oh god, no. Why'd you tie it in, Ruflos? It was a tangent, honest.
Cameron Sickle was coming for you.
Oh man. So the test of a new Russian satellite took place on the 15th of July, and they were aiming to perform checks on the country's space equipment. So they're boxing this all in with that as well. The US and the UK are trying to say that has something to do with this this weaponization, as it were. I don't know how you feel about this. Do you think this is a bit of a distraction, all this stuff up in space at the moment? Do you think we're being bombarded with a lot of information about space and us heading there, real soon? Don't know, man.
I think that's why it's happening now, because it's so soon. Like it's way closer than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
And I feel like with space, or usually it's like that's the thing with most things. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be the first.
Sure.
Like usually that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So like that's why so many countries and companies as well, they want to be the very first to get into space. and do whatever the respective company does, because it's just such a massive new thing.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
gonna be like
Also,
like I don't even know what it's equivalent to, like the computer being invented, maybe, or something, like actual like proper space travel. Like it's pretty up there with the
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the possibilities
things
are
humans
endless.
are gonna do.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. I don't know if anyone's seen, but a couple of days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, Virgin Galactic released the inside of their cabins. Has anyone seen these? For the
No.
pretty cool looking, dude. They're pretty cool looking, but again, it comes at a time when, you know, shit's hitting the fan on Earth, so to speak, and we're just getting bombarded with this information of space travel and, you know, going the extra mile and
Are they trying to say something? Like, Earth is.
Yeah, they're eating out of
Let's go.
it's time to pack your
It's
bags.
hard to believe.
Possibly, man. I don't know. It's interesting though, bro. I mean, I don't think there is a real threat in space yet from opposing countries. I honestly don't believe that. I think there's definitely a lot
What
of
about opposing planets?
wow. Well, that's a different topic. that's a different podcast. That's the one where we all get our 101 tin hats on, mate. And maybe we should do one another week.
Hey, I'm definitely getting a camera of that. I'm just gonna wear a colander.
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 Fucking hell, looking like a scuffed Bill and Ben, mate. Like what?
Hey, that's it.
Oh, bro.
Tip man costume on.
Now that might be a show, mate. We might have to do that sometime. The power hour with the tinfoil hats. And then we're still coming with tinfoil hats and we'll spit a conspiracy each and go off on it. See what happens. That might be fun.
What were you saying about them finding spaceships or
Oh yeah.
aircraft not
Yeah.
made on Earth?
Go ahead, Raggedy.
So I think it was 2-3 days ago, the Pentagon released a statement to say that they have knowledge that ships have been found that were not built on this planet, which pretty much alludes to the fact that aliens are real, surely.
Yes.
in a sense. And it's quite interesting that that's come out, because that's the sort of the first admittance of this. I think it's ever. One other interesting fact that came along with this was that 12 years ago, the Pentagon said that the sector, or the area of the Pentagon that was researching UFOs and that subject closed down, when actually at the same time this article came out, they said that it didn't close down the whole time. It's still been doing its research, but they just felt they needed to say it was closed down for 12 years.
Why would they come up with that information now, though? Like,
So over the past, I think it's over the
There's a lot
past
of
5 years,
information.
there's been a lot of I don't know if I want to say UFO phenomenon, but secret documentation released from the Pentagon regarding anything space related, right? It's been over the past 5 years. I don't know if anyone here watches the Joe Rogan podcast. Does anyone?
Yeah, every now and then.
Have you seen the one
Yeah, every now and
where the gentleman from Blink 182?
top the law.
Yes, and he starts speaking about how he was approached by government officials to release information publicly regarding footage military pilots had captured during work, and they were basically completely unidentified objects that they had captured, and they vocalized in the video, we don't know what these things are. And then later it was also proven that anyone else at base couldn't decipher them, and he was like given the task, he was told to like put the information out there in the public eye so that it could be more digested better by the public. So stuff like that's been happening for like 4 or 5 years, And no one believed that, I'll be honest. But then a year after that interview where he explained this to Joe Rogan, the Pentagon did release said videos and made a statement of it. I don't know, ever since then, man, it seems like it's just developing more and more.
Yeah. I've always. There is no way that we are the only form of life, let alone intelligent life, in that infinite area that is space. You know what I mean? We've seen that there's a whole equation for like calculating the possibility of life. It's called the Drake equation.
I haven't heard of this.
It's ridiculous.
The statistics are just all there. Like, you know, it would be so impossible almost for it not for the same situation for us, as in like this perfect environment for life hasn't happened again somewhere else, because there's so many chances for it to happen.
Yeah, you're right. Going off of that point as well, you're saying there with the statistics of that, is like, for my mind, it does struggle to imagine that somewhere out there, far away, there are people or something else, right? I struggle to imagine that. But what I don't struggle with is like everything around us is like that WoW layer system. Like, we're all there. You know, like, we're all there, but like you don't see each other until you're in the group.
Parallel dimensions.
Almost.
Or universes.
Yeah, like we're not too far away from this other thing or people or place that we're speaking of, but it's not this. Does that make any sense? I don't know. It's like Earth in another time, or the planet in another time, or
it's like dreams, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Dream and you dream something so real. You wake up and you're like, damn, that didn't happen. Like, seriously?
It's true.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's probably for the best though.
I don't know.
You dreaming, Riffloss?
I got some mad missions, man. Like, I woke up as Gimli the other day and it felt super free. I got some mad stuff when I got to bed.
That's jokes, bro. You've been eating cheese before bed, bro.
Oh, I just got to sleep and then I actually woke up pure in the middle of, like, you know when they're jumping? So Aragorn has to throw Gimli. That's the bit that I woke up on, and I was getting fucking thrown into a group. And I woke up and I was like, like,
that's fucking brilliant.
I got some mad dream.
Yeah, just the one thing, like with the aliens, like the one problem I have with like the UFOs and that, it's just that like we're pretty sure that they wouldn't be anywhere in our solar system, like actual big aliens, because except if they're like inside Jupiter or something, like some hidden. And then the problem is that it's just so far to anywhere in the universe that like they would have to go insanely fast or actually have warp drives or something.
That's it. I completely agree with you, and that's why my mind struggles with that. Like, there's people out there, but my mind doesn't struggle to like. I'm not really one for ghosts, but like I'm more down. I don't know. My brain can compute like layers. Like we're not too far. I don't know.
Well, our eyes can only see I think it's a ridiculously small, sort of single-figure percent of the light that goes on around us. So, you know, there's sort of 90% of the light that our eyes can't actually see. So, you know, there could be all sorts of stuff flying around in front of our eyes right now, and we have no idea because we can't see it.
True.
I 100% believe in ghosts, man. There's, you know, you've been somewhere and something's happened and you can't explain it. There's no logical explanation for that thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Okay, like this didn't happen to me directly, but it happened to in my family, right? And this is from some no bullshit people in my family as well. So when my nan, my nan, I'll start there, okay.
Let's worry not.
Yeah, when my bread passed away. No, sorry, when my nan, my Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm doing this no justice now. I'm sorry, Nan. She'd laugh right off. Right. when my nan passed away, she like made a sort of like a pact with my two aunties, but separately, right? And they never spoke about it between each other. And she gave them a word, and the word meant nothing. She made it up. She was also going through like chemo, and she was on a lot of drugs when she said it. So like, it really didn't make any sense. This word is completely random. And when she passed, they both decided to go to what is it called when you? Oh Jesus Christ, bro! What are they called when you? A clairvoyant. A clairvoyant.
Medium.
Yeah, is it medium or for the clairvoyant? Yes, medium. One of them.
That's a person, I think.
They said the word, bro. Like they did the down to a T. And the word was boofa. Like down to the spelling. And it's just like how, like something like that. I was like, this person's either psychic or they can. That's the only option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing, and the only thing that I've like had happen to someone close to me in my life that is like, whoa, hang on a minute. Could there be like a way to the other side? But that's it. I've had no other experience.
For me, it's animals, man. It's dogs. It's animals. Like we went to a very long time ago. We stayed at a place that was incredibly haunted on the Isle of Hawaii, which wasn't known to us at the time. But the dog was like fine before we got there, and he went schizo, man. Like pure, just absolutely going nuts like the whole week, and it was horrible. Like the feeling you get, like you see, like feel things, you know, like a cold shiver when there's no windows.
Oh man!
You just like your hairs stand on end. You get goosebumps for no reason at all.
Ragnar, you had an experience.
Yeah, it was probably 10 years ago now, maybe even a bit longer than that. And we were in the local park, and there was about 7 or 8 of us, I'd say. I was with a girlfriend at the time, and a couple of my friends were with theirs. And this woman came over, and she was like, "Do you mind looking after my dog? I'm just going to go to Pizza Hut and get a pizza." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, no problem. Are you sure?" Like, she said, it was a Springer Spaniel, and I had a Springer Spaniel at the time, so I was quite familiar with him. And she said, "Keep the ball around, throw the ball, he won't leave you." I was like, "Okay." And she walked off. Sure enough, we could see Pizza Hut. It was just like out the park across the road. So she goes, gets Pizza Hut, and like, she eating in, she taken away, we don't know. Turned out she ate in because we were with the dog for a good half an hour, 45 minutes. Anyway, it was fine, it chilled with us, and it was lovely dog. Anyway, she comes back, and she starts talking. She goes, "How has he been a good boy?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Do you know he's the reincarnation of Winston Churchill?" And we were looking at each other like, no. And she said, it was bizarre, right? So we were like, okay. Winston Churchill, fine, like, yeah, that could be it. She told a little spiel about that, and I can't really remember that, to be honest. I was at the time, I was just trying to gather what she was trying to say. Anyway, and then she went on to say that she's a psychic, and she can, you know, tell the future and do this and all that. And she sat down with us, and this went on for, I don't know, she was with us for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and she was just talking at us, and she wanted to like just tell everyone sort of thing. She came to me and she pretty much said, explained about my mum and my dad, and got the explanations of what they do and their ages and whatnot pretty much to a T. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. Said a few things about my future which have come to fruition in a sense. Then she went to my girlfriend at the time and was like, so you know, your dad, unfortunately you've lost him about 8 years ago, but he taught you how to play piano. Literally, she just burst out crying, just like hysterical tears, because he died I think it was just coming up to 8 years, and he taught her up to like the top grade of piano. It was like, it blew me away, it blew everyone away. And then she went to every single other person around the group, 7 or 8 of us, and everyone just left, and we were in silence for about 10 minutes afterwards because it was the most bizarre, accurate, strange experience we've ever had. And I asked my friend about it the other day, and he was like, "I'll never forget that." I was like, "I'm glad you haven't, because I don't know how you could." It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but it was. Afterwards, I was starting to think, "Damn, that dog's Winston Churchill, man."
Why didn't I get his autograph, bro?
Yeah, it was
Imagine.
Oh man,
Mate.
that is mad. Though.
yeah.
Riffloss,
It was crazy.
Have you had any experiences on Earth? Like, not on Earth.
How about not on Earth? Where else?
How about on Mars, bro? What the fuck am I on about? You know what I mean, man.
I'm a bit skeptical with that stuff, but as soon as because I've never ever had any experiences, but if I ever had one, that would instantly change my mind. But I think it's just because I've never had anything.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it's I'm a bit skeptical.
Mm.
But if something like that happened, then
I was
It would
also,
change.
but afterwards it was just like there was too many accuracies, and everyone agreed. It was just for a few days afterwards, I was thinking about it constantly. It definitely was an interesting, life-changing experience in a way. Changed my perspective on things. She's either just great at guessing shit, or I don't know.
or else there's some secret way of actually reading people, or something.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
it's nice
Darren
for all
Brown
of us,
does
yeah.
it. Yeah, there's a guy called Darren Brown from the UK who literally will get a whole theatre of people, bro, and he literally he does that it's telltale signs from people, right? And he picks individuals that are not pre-selected. They could be, but I think they're he knows a little bit about them, where he's sussing them out before he goes on stage, you know. And then he picks weaker individuals, as it were, or weaker-minded individuals, and then goes off their character. But then he picks stuff out, like you're saying, he might be oh, like you said that girlfriend's father passed away 8 years ago, and he taught you how to play piano. He might see her hands sit in a certain way when she stood still, and a certain part of her leans, leans one way. I don't know. There's these I have no idea what they are, but there's definitely there's an art to that, isn't there?
Mate, I went to see Darren Brown live. I went to see him live. It was the maddest show I've ever seen in my life.
Was
I
it?
sit there eating. He ate a light bulb. I ate the glass of a light bulb and then regurgitated it, and it was intact. He was chewing it, full. He'd break the glass, and he sat there. He was like, he was like, "I'm going to show you this," and he bit down on the glass, cracked it, and swallowed. Right, and then he pulled it back out, and it was back intact.
What the fuck?
And he also predicted an event, and he put it. It was something that was I can't remember, something someone said during the show, and he a audience member said to him, because they get us up on stage and he put it in the advert of the day before's newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff gets me. How they sealed something in an envelope, which has gone around. You've seen it on TV, and then they open it on the live TV. There's got to be some way to do it, or there is just a magical force.
There's people like Darren Brown and David Blaine. They're they're another level, right? It's not just a show, or it could be a show, but it's an extremely well thought out, intricate show. But what they do is real, it's using real skills, right, and pushing the body and the mind to its complete limits. It's insane. It's insane, bro.
Because
Yeah,
that with David Blaine holding his breath or whatever it was he did.
A ridiculous
Didn't
amount
he
of
do something
hours. Dude, he's done. David Blaine. Let me see how long he held his breath.
Yeah, because that's you can't really cheat that.
17
That's
minutes and 4 seconds. What the fuck is that, bro? And that is
that's
just
mad, man.
pure mind. Like,
What is the world record for?
I will look right now.
I think he's probably got it, to be honest.
Yeah, so anyway, back to the Russian satellites.
Ooh, 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
Wait,
Bro, he hyperventilated with oxygen before his attempt for 19 minutes and 30 seconds. Wait, hang on.
Wait, why would you
Wait,
do that?
hang on.
Oh, with
Oh,
oxygen, sorry.
someone, no, that was someone trying to. Oh, sorry. No, someone else held the record, but he hyperventilated with oxygen before his attempt, and he got 19 minutes and 30. But this other guy, Tom Sietas, literally got 22 minutes and 22 seconds without any aid beforehand. So just straight up was like, okay, guys. The other guy's like taking big old.
Can you imagine that? Like, holding your breath through
can you
watching
just
a whole
imagine,
guy,
like,
no adverts.
right? If someone was trying to get information out of him and they decided to
Waterboard him.
yeah, you'd be fucked.
He's like,
yeah.
oh, bro.
You'd be there like, yeah, this is easy, mate. Come on, bring it on.
Just chilling.
You're giving me a breath
Oh,
in
you
between.
can't.
You're giving me a breath in between. I could do this all day.
The other thing is, you got to imagine, like, special forces from all over the globe, they can't teach this shit, like, to that level. I think of the willpower that this man or these individuals have that can do it for that long. Like, if you can't drill it into someone through, like, physical exertion, manipulation of the mind, like they do with soldiers, right, or special forces, this guy can just be like, I'm gonna do it. Like, he's got an insane power, bro. Like, that's an extraordinary human right there.
He's a superhuman.
True, actually true. But can he swim and hold it?
That's a different kind of, because obviously there's physical exertion there as well.
Yeah, man.
And your muscles are using up oxygen. So.
It's true. It's true. So,
Yeah.
wrap this topic up then. Topic 2.
Sorry, what topic was it?
It was ghosts, aliens, and psychics, wasn't it? Oh no, wait, no, it was about Russia
No, it
sending
was
a
the Russian
projectile.
satellites.
Slight tangent. Oh well.
It all linked eventually. If you
Yeah,
look
exactly. Yeah. So going full circle from underwater, being in space is like being underwater. So about that projectile in space, what does everyone feel about it?
I don't even know anymore.
Do you think it's a credible reason or a credible threat or not? That's my question to you.
I feel like it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it, but they also might not.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think.
I also feel that it's with technology these days, surely it's a pretty easy thing to implement. So they've probably been able to do it for a very long time. But Russia's the first one to like give it a go. I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think, but yeah, I guess we watch this space and literally.
Yeah, like they are,
Space.
like the Russians are.
And see what happens.
In my honest, humble, stupid opinion, I reckon they have been up to no good up there, if I'm honest. But I think it has been testing the capability of other satellites while they're up there. I think they're doing that constantly. I think they're seeing the weaknesses in other governments' security of their satellites. And I think they're testing water constantly. That's what I think, personally. So I don't think they're actually doing anything like wrong, but I think they're like, you know how ships often cross into enemy waters and they shouldn't, but they're like, oh, we're just testing. It was a test. It's like that's happened recently as well. I think maybe a couple of years ago, the UK had some Russian jets like fly within our boundaries, and then they were like, oh no, we're just testing, and they just dip out and nothing happens.
No, we sent
The
out
other day.
that was over Southampton Channel as well. They sent out like jets to go meet them and escort them out.
What, they actually like got straight on it, like they
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
shit, okay.
They sent our own jets out to.
Oh fuck. Okay. Okay.
We also found submarines in.
Yeah, that was the other day. There was a Russian sub came across a British.
So look, they're doing it. They're doing it in the south of our country. Where was the submarines? Do you know?
Not exactly, but I'm pretty sure they were in our territory,
So
or just on the edge of it, and there was sort of like a short face-off or something. I didn't know. I just saw a glimpse of it.
So if they're doing it by sea, like above sea, and also below sea level, then what's to say they're not going to test it out there? Where there's no one.
They're definitely doing
something.
something. Russia
Yeah.
always does something, but it's just it might not be a threat now, or but it could be a threat.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree. I think it's just tests. Yeah, tests of weakness probably. So
They
any
like
Sorry.
poking, don't they, Russia? They like poking.
Just quickly about the Russian. Two Royal Naval ships intercept missile-carrying Russian Soviet-era submarine in English Channel, and this was last week. I guess
the English
they had
Channel,
a little
that's-
standoff. Yeah.
so literally like
Called
the east and
the
the south. They've
Krasnodar.
been found in the east and the south of our country. Then basically, when they shouldn't have been there in recent years.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a little bit. That's a little bit worrying.
Yeah, no, they were doing this. They were doing this submarine thing a few years ago as well.
Damn, bro.
They like poking just to see if we're still awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're probably doing it up top then as well, right? Up in the old ionosphere, right?
Yeah, probably. There's always something going on that we don't know about.
True that. True that. Well, moving swiftly on then to topic number 3. The world's largest nuclear fusion project has finally begun assembly. Now, we've watched a lot of videos on YouTube about this because this is interesting as shit. Because this development, if successful, will bring forth a new age of power for the entire population of Europe, to be honest with you. And then eventually the rest of the world. This is non-carbon emitting lifetime energy. we're talking it's never gonna stop, man. Plasma power. How y'all feel about that? Does anyone know about this?
It's pretty cool. I haven't heard about this specific one, but I know that in the UK there is a company who are trying to push towards nuclear fusion and are doing pretty cool and have a very cool Instagram feed. If anyone wants to find it, I will find the name of it, as I think it's Pulsar Fusion. But let me just.
So Wiley and Riffloss, do you know about this topic much?
Yeah, Pulsar Fusion.
I did not. I'm not gonna lie. I actually hadn't
Okay.
heard about this.
Shall I give you all a quick rundown?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, so the project is ITER project. It's also the name of the company that is working on this. It's a collaboration project between China, the European Union, India, Japan, South Korea, Russia, and the US. They're all sharing the cost of the construction. Should be entering its 5-year assembly phase now, and they have just started the first phase of that. The idea is to create a small but vast amount of energy with little radioactivity, and the first stages are going to be basically a small scaled version of the end project. So what they're doing is they're creating all systems in place so that it's secure, and then they're going to test it on a very minute scale and see if it's sustainable and that they can actually manage it. Upon that, they're then going to increase the size massively and finish the entire project. But they don't even know if it's, successful yet. But it's had all of this investment. It's had 18.2 billion invested in it, and they're just like, yeah, we'll do half, make sure it works, then we'll finish it. So,
Well, to be fair, at least they're investing their money in something that could potentially help save the planet. You know what I mean?
True. How do you feel about like the south of France is kind of sunny anyway? How do you feel about them building a sun in the south of France? Because that's what they're doing essentially. Like,
It's true.
is
Yeah, it's
slightly worrying.
You know how bad that could go. Like how wrong that could go. And that would wipe us out if it did go wrong. That's
Yeah. Yeah, I just find it pretty cool because that, like, even what we were talking about before with the aliens, like with the space travel, they say one of the ways you could get like really fast spaceships was if you had fusion.
True.
Because it is like as soon as you get fusion, that's basically every single energy problem solved.
So Riffloss,
like,
what if they're gonna make this, they're gonna harness it, and then we're off on those long missions out of our solar system to find those other peoples? What about that, bro? What if that's the agenda?
Oh, I'll even like one up your conspiracy. How about the unidentified aliens? Like the planes they found that wasn't from Earth. Maybe they're using that technology for the new fusion project. Like it just happens to be that they're doing it while we just. Like the US has just released that it's unearthly.
Hey, let's all go get our tinfoil, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
wait.
No, but for real,
But
that's
yeah,
a good point, man. What so like reverse engineering?
Yeah. And so it just happens. The Pentagon just has to release it now that they're starting a fusion project. Also, people are going to be like, "Oh, where did you get all this technology from?"
And it's a joint effort between, was it 1, 2, 3? Well, actually, the European Union. Well, nearly every. Bro, that is pretty much every country. Let's face it. Like every major power is involved. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's China, Russia, and America, then you know it's like there's something going on there.
True.
That has to be.
Yeah, we're gonna build our own space station, but fusion? Yeah, we'll join forces. Yeah, cool. Why not? Right? What?
Yeah, there we go.
But it is pretty cool because I think so far I'm not sure if they've achieved a little bit of fusion in like, because I know they have a couple of projects going on.
Yeah.
But the only time they've ever really done it is in like nuclear bombs and hydrogen bombs.
Yeah.
Like that's the only time they've ever done it before.
Yeah, on a tiny scale, isn't it? That's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just because it gets really hot in a nuclear bomb, so it just automatically does it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it would be like, imagine that suddenly electricity just becomes completely free, basically. Because you can just like, it's basically like a generator and you just pour whatever you want in there. Like, oh yeah, today, like just pour your nuclear waste into that. You might even be able to do something with that. Like,
dude,
you can just pour water in there and get like infinite energy out of it almost.
It's insane. Do you know, from a scientific background, do you understand it in quite a lot of depth, or?
Yeah, decent amount, but I wouldn't say I'm a nuclear physicist or anything.
No, I'd hope not.
Are you sure?
This man's gonna be coming from the fucking fusion, the fusion reactor next podcast. Hey guys, I landed myself a job. They saw me on the podcast, actually.
Wait, can you imagine?
Yeah, well, thanks, Maxi.
I nearly called the title of the podcast like with the company name, but then I thought, hang on a minute, if there's ever any like backlash or I don't know, I just didn't want to use their company name in there, and I was like, nah, allow it. But imagine if you got found for it, they're like, oh, this Riffloss fella.
Yeah.
He knows what he's on
but
about.
it is like pretty cool because like say our sun, you just start with a bit of hydrogen, and then it gets heavier and heavier, so it'll make hydrogen into helium and then move down the periodic table, and then eventually like you might turn it off and then just have pure gold or something, iron. Like that's
really
the only thing. So like
Riffloss knows how to do alchemy.
Yeah, what, mate? What?
Yeah, basically like, so that will be the only
byproduct. In the fucking chat. What the hell?
He has solved alchemy.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, you like that's the only byproduct. Instead of all these greenhouse gases, you just get gold or iron or like different heavy elements.
Damn.
But then I know where there's one thing against it is that like the hydrogen you put in, you can't really get that back. So whereas with like say a normal like let's say petrol or oil or something,
yeah,
like that goes around the carbon cycle and all that. But when you do fusion, you actually lose what you put in because it becomes a new element. So let's say if you put water in, then eventually you'll run out of water. So
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it needs to be fed. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're getting at? Like, it needs to be fed
yeah,
a
so,
source. So it needs a fuel.
like-
It still needs a fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the sun at the moment is just burning hydrogen, and then it'll go on to helium and more, but eventually it'll just be like it'll turn into some heavy element, like some kind of metal or something.
And then we're all fucked.
Yeah.
What if that's what
But
the
that's
black cube is? You know, a black cube
Oh,
is
yeah.
Saturnalia. Anyone know about that? No.
Mhm.
I wonder if that's what that is.
Heard of
Imagine
it.
if that is actually like the history of that, or the myth of that is just you know, a collapsed sun. That's what the end result was.
Yeah.
That cube, bro. The
But that's the thing that all elements have come from just basically like suns exploding, like all metals and all that.
Mm.
Man,
That's the only
you're blowing my
downside to
mind
fusion.
at the minute, bro. So wait, so we've got
Oh,
to feed
this
this
is-
bad boy. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
How the fuck are we
Yeah.
gonna feed this motherfucker, guys? I don't
Oh,
get
so
it.
you would just give it hydrogen
From where?
from water, basically.
Riffloss has educated me, and I like it.
Mate, they're gonna use all our water to get us out of here, aren't they? And Riffloss
Yeah.
is in on it.
Maybe that's what happened to
that's-
Mars.
It's alright. It's
That's
alright,
like if you-
because
If you've seen those movies where the aliens go around harvesting water from other planets,
Oh, they're literally
like
feeding
that's
that
usually the
fusion.
premise. The premise is that they need to power the fusion, so they harvest the water.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's what happened to Mars.
Yeah.
oh,
shit.
no,
Let's
I need to
go,
drink that.
let's go.
Get a text from the FBI in a minute saying.
This is gonna get flagged for misinformation on YouTube, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need a like tinfoil version of this podcast. I think
Definitely.
every
Yeah.
single topic it spawns like 3 new tinfoil hat topics out
It's
of each.
does.
It was meant to be like,
That's
news
not bad.
night. It was meant to start as news night, and it's literally tinfoil hat clapping out, bro.
Oh my god. Hey, the colander's coming out. That's it.
Alright, Bill, calm it. Go fetch Bob, will ya? Go.
Ben,
Ben, yeah, Bob.
In a bed.
Ben and Bob.
Bob, Ben and Bob,
It should definitely
Bob
be
and-
Bill and
Bob and Steve from the Traceman Hut.
Oh, bro.
That's
Oh.
funny.
Well, I am all for this, if I'm honest. It seems like a massive,
Yeah.
I don't know, human feat of all resources, man. And it's happening, you know, just down the road, really. It's happening in France, man, so it's not too far from here, if I'm honest. But it's an odd one, I'll give you that. It's been under wraps as well. I mean, a lot of this stuff doesn't get put in the media, and I don't know why, if I'm honest. You'll see SpaceX sending something, but then you don't hear about this, and this is insane. What's happening here? So it's odd that they leave it out of the mainstream media. Not gonna lie.
I'd probably like now going into the tinfoil again. Oh, it's not that tinfoily, but I reckon it's because it's related to nuclear. People usually have a pretty bad perception of nuclear power and stuff.
That's a good point. Very good point. I
And
mean,
also,
most people
it
don't
doesn't
want
shine
nuclear
a
power
great
plants.
light on the continuation of fossil fuels making money for the businesses that are in that fossil fuel business.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but-
gonna put. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that actually. Yeah, the powers that be that put the money into the media are probably the oil heads these days, right?
Yeah.
So they're not gonna want this. Yeah,
They're
I
gonna
hear
be
that.
raging.
True.
Also because they're like slowly dying anyways,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
so it's it's not a good time to be an oil company.
But Elon's just
No.
there, like rubbing his palms together. He's like, "Bring on fusion, baby."
Yeah. Free power to all my cars.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, "I've got the sun, and now I've got the sun." Like, he's sorted, bro. Well, that's a pretty interesting topic, man. I feel like we've covered that. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll definitely come back to this when they finish the second phase, which will be when they have built everything in place for the first test, basically, for the small fusion. I don't know what means small and big, but I'm assuming the big one will be the end scale of the project and it'll be complete. And they're just doing tests for the start, but.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the small fusion is just starting it. It's like hard to start the fusion, but then once it gets going.
So they're gonna see if they can keep it together, keep hold of it, and actually harness it first until they build. I see. Okay, so it'll essentially be a never-ending project.
Yeah,
because they're gonna.
It needs to be like some insane. Like it needs to be. I'm pretty sure it needs to be hotter than the sun, like way hotter, because it's like not as heavy as the sun.
That is correct. That is correct.
So it needs to be like insanely hot. And it's really hard to do that.
When you get offline, everyone in chat and on the podcast, go and just have a look at the construction of it, because it's a massive engineering feat what they've achieved. Like, it looks insane. It's all these sub levels and like a lot of it's above ground as well, but it looks mad. But anyway, that's that topic. That's it over. Anyone else got any points to make on that? Anyone else?
Bring it on.
You got any more on that one? No? All good? Alright. Anybody know Dust? Okay. Right, well, the next topic is the grime artist from the UK, Wiley, also known as the Godfather, has been permanently suspended by Twitter over anti-Semitism remarks. So, this is a controversial topic right here, and I'd first like to state that all quotes made in this segment are of the grime artist Wiley and not of anyone here on this podcast. I'd just like to make that clear. So, does anyone know much about this? Riffloss, I'm not sure if you do or not. Don't know if you would have caught wind of it over there.
Yeah, I heard a bit about he was banned, but I just heard some Wiley was banned and I didn't really know who it was.
Yeah,
that's basically all I knew about it.
You panicked and thought I never knew there was a famous guy on Smaxy's podcast.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, that looks pretty bad.
This guy's his friend? What?
I promise it wasn't me.
So Wiley, have you caught wind of this week or not?
I did hear about it. Yeah, me and Mike were talking about it in the van.
What's your first response to it?
I don't know. Well, obviously, it definitely shouldn't have been said. like, there's no excuse.
True. Do you?
So if I don't know what to say. I'm struggling for words, man.
Yeah, you're alright. Yeah, I gotta be too careful. You're alright.
No, I'm just struggling for words.
Oh, you're alright. Well,
I can go now.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
A little bit. I'll just go like a bit, also because I don't know him too well. But like some of the stuff he says is pretty bad. But yeah. I just always have like with the say Twitter and stuff. I always find it's pretty fair whenever people might be banned for things that aren't. Not saying that like this was definitely a deserved ban. But it's like it is a private company, so usually they can do whatever you want. Like using their website, you have to like their terms and conditions. You just have to apply like be in accordance with them.
Yeah, that is very true.
I also think it is like saying stuff that extreme. It is like pretty far out of line.
Yeah.
So I think it was pretty well deserved. But then something I found a bit funny was like that how they were boycotting Twitter. A lot of people were boycotting Twitter, which like I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. And I feel like it nowadays, like especially now, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I find Twitter, they sometimes do some pretty interesting things. People like say boycotting Twitter, even though it wouldn't change anything with Twitter. I think people just like to feel like they're doing something good.
Yeah, jump on the bandwagon kind of thing.
Yeah, because like this, like of course he's a big figure, but it really like should have just been that he got banned straight up.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. And also Twitter taking a while to do this looks pretty bad on their behalf as well.
He's also been removed by the looks of things from Facebook, Instagram as well.
That's correct. He has indeed.
Um,
I mean, I
really?
personally have a very probably skewed take on this, and probably not a very favoured take on this, but what he has said is not good. Okay, firstly, I want to say that it is bad what he has said, but I would like to also point this out. Twitter is a massive space, right? And there are many individuals on Twitter that are prominent, like figures in society, like him and higher, and people have said very similar things about different religions and races, and they do get away with it. They do. And although what he said isn't correct, and neither is what they have said, they have gotten away with it, and it is noticeable. And I don't spend much time on Twitter, and I've even seen it in the past. And he's even referred to things that, Lord Sugar, like the guy from the UK Apprentice. Things he's come
Alan
out and
Sugar.
said, Alan Sugar, yeah. Things he's come out and said in the past on Twitter are very similar, but they're just attacking a different group of people. And he was allowed to do it, and he wasn't pulled for it. So, I mean, I'm not saying what he said is right or what they said is right, but I do find it odd that he had police come to his door. There's a lot of controversy in the news around him saying it, it's representative of the black community in a way, rather than just an individual. Like the way it's being played a lot, I don't really like it. And the thing is as well that not a lot of us understand is the music industry that he has been like booted out of in many ways because he didn't want to succumb to their contracts. They've stolen a lot from this individual also, and not a lot of people know that. Like a lot of his royalties and his checks have been cut from record labels, and in his eyes they are run by certain people, right? So that's also where these attacks come from, which again aren't okay, but I don't know, I feel are valid in some ways to the individual. But I don't know, man, I feel like he should be able to speak a certain way, but when it comes to inciting violence in any way, I don't think that's right. But I don't think he did that. So
there definitely is like a hierarchy of like things you can talk about, and like even though it's the same topic, there are some groups that are more I'd say more marginalized, or like you get bigger repercussions for talking about it.
right, precisely. And also, I'm not sure if anyone's aware, but recently, in like recent weeks, Palestine has been taken off of maps. Like it's been withdrawn from maps, and it is just Israel there now. So he's also talking about that and the personal things that he's had from said individuals. So there's a bigger topic at hand which no one is addressing as well through all of this. Everyone's concentrating on his band and the things he said, but what he is doing is he is also trying to point, to Israel and Palestine and show people what's happening, because no one really gives a shit, to be honest with you. I didn't even know until I researched it, right? So that's another part of it, is, I don't know, it feels like it's a bit of a distraction again from something that's a bit more important, right?
Yeah, it's also because most of the big tech companies, they are left leaning, so it just favors those politics a bit. By a bit, Twitter favors it quite a lot.
Yeah,
I feel like Facebook is a bit more even though they're still left leaning, but Twitter is quite left leaning.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No, you're definitely not.
That's when it's hard, when it's their own terms and conditions. They can bend the rules as they like. Like it shouldn't be that way, but that's just how things are.
They are a news agency now, though, aren't they? They're not actually a social media company. I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, they became a news agency. So again, why would he expect any different? We're talking about media not speaking about nuclear fusion, but it matters to all of us, and it could be a new age for us. but we don't hear about it in the media. But we know all about Kim K's ass. Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing, right? Twitter is selectively putting out and promoting certain content. So I guess, yeah, it is a true news agency.
yeah. It is. It's doing its job well.
Yeah, true. No wonder they're in that bracket now, man. Jesus. But,
It is.
Yeah.
It is just sadly because that's like what it is nowadays. Is just what can generate the most attention,
yeah.
and things like
Make clicks as possible.
Is for the
yeah,
money.
especially
If you get
anti-Semitism. That's very up there.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the. Yeah, there's always been a problem with anti-Semitism. Don't get me wrong, like there is for all races and religions, right? But I would say that in the past couple of years as well, while there's been a lot of pressure in Israel, and it's almost like this anti-Semitism thing. Semitism has been on the rise, or the problem with it has been on the rise in the media since Israel has gained more control and dominance out there. I don't know, it seems to go hand in hand. Like it's like a sympathetic, I don't know, vibe for them. I mean, I've got to be careful with what I say, but that's just the feeling I have, man. It's crazy what, like, all you got to do is look it up yourself about what's happening over there, man. Like, I can't even begin to explain the details of it because I don't know myself, but it's insane. People losing their homes, their rights, and a territory that they've been on for thousands of years, right? It's insane in this day and age that that's happening, but yeah, so
It is just there's a lot of conflicts like that going on.
it's true.
It's,
It's true. I didn't realize how prominent it is in Russia still to this day. How much Putin actually tries to still, like, sort of leave out. Was it economic? No, was it infrastructure of certain areas? Like they don't develop certain areas so that they struggle a little bit more. Is it like Ukraine?
But that's also what's like Ukraine. They were
Yeah.
and like India and Pakistan and like I even think I think it's near it's either Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Kuwait. I think it is like in the Middle East. There's like a lot of problems there as well and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And also the Uyghur Muslims in China. Like that's very bad as well.
Oh yeah,
Like
Christ.
there's a lot of
Yeah, that's a heavy topic. That is. We should definitely cover that one.
Yeah.
It's hard to get information about that other than like from conspiracy theorists at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, bro. There's actually concentration camps at the moment, in China. I don't know if anyone knows about that, but that's what Riflos is touching on there, where they're taking like Muslims out of their home just for their religion and parading them down the street basically to concentration camps, essentially, right? They're
What?
called labor camps.
Why is it that
the
we
re-education camps.
Re-education, sorry,
It's
yeah,
a-
re-education, yeah. It's insane.
Why is it that the world is going backwards? I don't understand.
I just think it's not the world is going backwards. It just never came that forwards. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
also like I don't like to use all like privilege, but being from a Western country, it is like very different,
Yeah, no doubt.
and that's just how it is. Like it is a privilege.
Yeah, no,
Even though I hate that word when it's used in a
Yeah,
stupid way.
it's
But,
not.
But like there is just a lot of
not
things.
the word for it though, is there? I guess it's not nice to be able to say it, but there's anywhere else to put it.
Yeah, the re-education thing though, bro. I know, like you said, Wiley, it's crazy. Like we're not moving forward at all. Really, we are stuck in the Stone Ages. Like those re-education camps. I've seen they had them in the US, they had them in Canada, and they were like for the indigenous people. They had them in Australia for the indigenous people. They would literally take the children from the parents' houses and literally just take them to like these shitty boarding schools, bro, essentially, and they would re-educate them entirely on the things they ate, maths and English. Like it is insane. And then they became so detached from their families that they sought after more. So the kids wouldn't even go home. They would just end up like leaving, or they'd return and then they'd like end up re-educating their own families. And then you just lose your entire culture from your ancestry. It's insane. But it's been happening I know for a fact it's been happening for the last 100 years, for sure.
Yeah, no, in Australia, the Aboriginal people weren't like they were still part of the flora and fauna, like basically plants and
Gee.
animals until 1965, I think.
That's insane.
That's when they got like human rights.
So they weren't even recognized as people until then.
Yeah, that's like when my mum was born, which is insane.
Yeah, that is insane, bro. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I guess
So
you're right. It's where we're living, right? It's our perspective on what we've been lucky enough to be around and not exposed to. But it is crazy. But nonetheless, I do agree that he should be banned. But also, I think the people in other parts of society should be banned for it also. When they speak out against people, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. There shouldn't be one rule for one and then another rule for another.
Yeah, and I think people need to stop focusing on, like, you know, like you said, he got banned, right? He got banned, it's done. But why, maybe why he got banned? Okay, well, we'll come to that conclusion. But then what was he trying to say? Like, no one looks at it anymore. They just see that as face value. And then it's like, actually, if they did some research, they would see maybe, you know, there's some corrupt people in the music industry and they hold a massive monopoly. And there's also something going on in Israel. Like, it's just that, you know.
I think at that point, it might have been the way he worded it rather than, or not, not what he said, because what he said was wrong. Yeah, but like if he had maybe worded it a little bit differently, it might have.
Yeah, he's no Loki, is he? You know, the UK rapper Loki, who sings heavily about Palestine. Like, he puts it in a certain way, and Wiley's just come out like angry with it, right? So yeah, I get what you're saying. Could have done it a lot better.
There's always a way to come across with things, isn't there? Like,
true.
It's
like,
also you should.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Refloss. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I was just saying it's like it is stupid. You should never really talk about like Hitler and Jews and all that. Like that's just going way too far.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like even though that.
Especially comparing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because like that's also something that's like I'm not sure how this is gonna go for the YouTube video using Hitler in that.
Yeah.
But like also when people will compare other people to Hitler, it's like you shouldn't ever make that comparison because he's like one of the worst human beings to ever exist.
Yeah,
like,
precisely.
You should never really compare anything to that.
No.
Like you can do. I also think like if you go on Twitter and talk about things in a reasonable way, I don't think you would get banned.
Yeah, it's definitely the delivery of what he said. Because like I said, I noticed from knowing a bit more about him and the industry he's from and the people he supports, I already knew what he was trying to say, but I was like, oh, that's not how you should say it. Like, you know, I'm still defending it in a way, not what he said, but like his mission. And it's if you just step back from it's almost like you want to write those things in your notes, and then like you delete the notes and then go and write your tweet. You know, like,
it's like when you text an angry message and then delete it afterwards. Yeah,
so always write that message, save it as a draft, wake up the next day. If you still want to send it, send it. If not, then allow it, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's 100% that. But you know, he also made, you know, we all just came out of a pandemic. The man's got a bit of money and been robbed a lot of money. He might be having a few mental issues as well. You know, you never do know these days. But it seems like a very large outburst of anger, but possibly from a good place. I'll just say that. But yeah, rightful ban. But you know, I feel like we need some checks on these news agencies these days. Checks and balances, right? Keep it even across the board.
Yeah, but that's even I'd say something like Twitch, like this.
True.
A lot of things where it's not evenly enforced.
Very true. But luckily we've got the enforcement squad now, so the E team. I don't actually know what they're called, but we mentioned it the other
way. The E team.
Yeah.
What were they called? Like a good team. That's far down the alphabet now.
Bottom of the leaguers, mate, the old E team. Right, if you could start off this next topic, mate, I just need to check on my little baby and make sure she's alright, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a jiffy, man.
2 seconds.
No worries. It's robot cleaners going to be used in Leeds.
That was it. Yeah. So, has anyone come across any robots that have been cleaning around you?
No, can't say I have.
I have.
Not quite yet.
Have you seen those little automatic hoovers, the little round things
Rumblers?
that cruise around your house?
Yeah.
Rumblers, mate.
Yeah.
I actually have.
Okay.
They have one at a barber. so it comes out and it hoovers up the hair and then it goes back, sort of thing.
While you're getting your haircut.
Yeah, man. I think that's a pretty good idea, though.
It just sweeps up all the hair when so they don't have to. My
Also,
my friend's parents have one, and it just literally pretty much cruises around the house constantly. Then when it's nearly low battery, it just charges itself, and then it's on a timer, so it will just head out on its journey at a certain time, go around until it's run out of battery, and then put itself back. And they just haven't hoovered the house for months. You have to empty things, but
on Amazon, there's these little like AI robots that you can get called vector bots, and over a period of time, so like you'll come home and it wakes up and it'll come and greet you, sort of thing, like, and it has a face and AI and it looks at you and stuff like that. It plays with like a little cube as well. And when it's tired, it will like start closing, and then it'll put it to sleep, and it'll start going back to sleep. But over the time of you spending with it, it grows like a personality as well towards you. Like it might not like being picked up and stuff like that.
That sounds creepy, mate. What the fuck?
Creepy.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
It's called a vector bot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so those
I think I might have seen that one.
So those Roomba things, do they actually get like everywhere? You know, because like when I'm hoovering, mate, I'll get out the wand and then have the attachment go in the corners. Like, what's that Roomba saying? Like, how good is it, bro? Is it getting?
You're not getting behind the sofas with that thing.
It's not cleaning my skirting boards, no.
No.
I mean, what's the fucking point then? What's the fucking point, man? I mean, bro, when I was
I
don't
down the
think
line,
my
you have this
skirting
little
boards, to
arm
be
that
fair.
comes out and just cleans all the skirting boards as it goes along.
mate.
So I'm making a Smaxy bot and it's gonna come round and just hoover up.
Nah,
the
lads. Again, every week I think I chuck out one of my childhood millionaire ideas. Right, I'm gonna chuck out another one. So, you know, everyone's got the old skirting boards in their house, right? Of some kind. We've all got panels on the lower part of our walls, right? Let's just say that. We need some form of suction device with a channel all the way around the houses that sucks in from there. So every day you just go, turn it on, and it, all the dust, mate. Straight to the fucking sides, bro. All the edges done, mate. And then you get your little Roomba come round. Does all the main bits.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, mosquitoes.
What mosquitoes have you met, bruv? Oh, injured ones. Oh, bro.
Do you want to know one of my ideas?
Go on.
It's for the trade. This one for the old, So cement mixers, right?
Yeah.
Right. Think of how much stuff you waste, right? So when you turn that on, it flicks out everywhere, doesn't it? Like the shit goes everywhere. You turn that thing on, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just make a cover to put over it? Like, just think about it, because you would waste so much less material instead of having to. So all that material that you would have wasted and less messy.
How
so less
much do they
cleaning it.
really lose out though, like in terms of money?
Well,
Do you
It
reckon they
does
lose
really fly out, does it?
out? I don't think.
Yeah,
Does it?
yeah. Depending on the weight and how much you're putting in it. So say like, and especially if you're putting in, say like a half bag of concrete, half bag of cement with sand, and then water as well. You get the water, and then the dust of that kicks up as well because it's being mixed up so rapidly. the amount of dust that comes out of there, which is really not good for your lungs when you're stood in front of it. Either.
True,
Trying to
true.
fix it. So it could be, you know, like a potential, you know, health advisory and save your materials.
Masks with cement mixers.
And
Wait,
time.
don't you need to be? Do you need access to it as it's moving?
No.
Oh, I thought you need to like some. I thought like you need like quick access, like to add more things to it and stuff. No, is that not?
No, it's just like it'd be like
I think
like
that
a lid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no worries.
Like a lid thing. Just unpop it from the bottom and flip the lid up.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if it, as it spins around, where you're gonna attach the lid, because you'd be like, if you need to chuck something in. But if you just load it up with the material and then spin it, it's all good. Why don't you just invent a lid then, bro? Like actually do it. Mate, come up with the drawings. I can make out of fiberglass. We're already built. It's already done, bro.
We've got a 3D printer genius as well over there who's currently left earlier on.
True. He could actually do that. It
was just like a little thing. Like, 'cause I've always thought about it. Like, why didn't they have a lid? Just because I feel like it would save time for one, for clearing up afterwards, for the amount of mess that they made.
I didn't know they made that. I know they get like messy on the outside. I didn't know they get mess like around them.
Yeah,
That's quite
of course you
interesting.
do.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. I mean, the most efficient ones are the tanks, aren't they? On the actual back of the lorry, like the full, you know, the size of a lorry cement mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just got like a fucking spout. It's just like. Yeah, man.
Wait, that things
Does it
are
be
heavy.
aerated or something? Like, does it need fresh air?
That's what I thought. I thought it
What,
needed
for the-
like
No,
for the small
doesn't need-
ones.
No, doesn't need air. It's electric, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I thought like for the reaction, I thought it might need.
No, because all you're doing is water, cement, and sand, right? So the aggregate or the sand that you use is the binding agent, and then you put you use washing up liquid or a binding agent in it as well to create that reaction. So the air doesn't have anything to do with it really.
Okay. Oh, what like that lime stuff in it?
Yeah, you use lime for like what's it called? So you know like the spatter on the outside of houses that you get sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put lime in that or extremely strong green or something.
Yeah, man. That lime stuff, bro. If you get a drop on that on your finger will eventually go bye-bye.
Yeah, well, it also smells horrible.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's fucking as strong as hydrochloric acid, mate. I found out the other day. I had no idea.
Yeah, man.
This bloke showed me a picture of some going through his
I've got-
finger. I was like, oh my god, bro. It's
I've got
like
loads of
nearly in a bone. It's horrible.
yeah, I've got loads of calluses on my hands because I had to. I spent like 4 days of mixing up with the lime for
With the coconuts.
Mixing up the lime.
lime with the coconut. Yeah,
And did you mix it all up?
drinking all up with the lime.
This man said he's working the other day, bro. He's just at the bar every day. He's fucking mixing lime with the
Mixing up the
coconuts,
lime
mate, and
and the
drinking
To
it.
be fair, I was at the pub for 10 days straight, so that's not even far.
You actually?
Yeah, the other day.
You were
I
10
wasn't
days.
lying.
Wait, 10 days straight? What do you mean?
We went to the pub for 10 days.
What, in the evenings?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Your bro don't drink like that though, does he?
No, you didn't come out with me.
Oh, that's why you were there for 10 days then. He would have told you to go home. It said in sense in day 3. You nutter.
No, he wouldn't. This is Mike we're talking about. Sense. You talking about?
Hey, come on.
He would have been like 4th day. He would have been done.
Yeah.
He'd been like, no more.
Back to
But-
nah, you always go back to reality. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So, should we all take a trip to Leeds to see these robots and maybe nick one for the stream?
Yes.
Interesting.
That was a joke, just so everyone knows. But seriously, what are you all up to Saturday? Riffloss, you got
Yeah,
your
I'm not
flights
sure if I
booked?
can make it with the
Wait, what? I've already
international
got,
flights.
I got your
So-
hotel booked, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? I've already done it.
Yeah, it's
It's only a 22
the international flights aren't looking too good from Australia at the moment.
Yeah, you're alright. You can have 3 weeks. 2 weeks quarantine here. 1 week here, actually doing stuff. There you can go. Easy cut.
and then 2 weeks quarantine.
Fly back and then 2 weeks quarantine again.
What a great holiday, mate. Quarantine both ends. Woo! It's fucking shit. Oh, man. But it is pretty cool, though, the robot I've seen. Although the gentleman that's operating said robot in Leeds is literally standing maybe 12 foot away from it, controlling it by a remote. So I don't really understand the point of the fucking...
Mate, I've got one of them on top of my wardrobe. It's called an RC car.
Yeah, bro, yeah. It's literally just got like a dispenser in it that obviously like feeds to the arm, and the arm points to the benches or the bike rails or whatever the fuck it is. And he stands there with his controls like it's a bomb, bro. Like the thing is as well, cleaners aren't doing that, right? Like cleaners around the country aren't doing that. They're not all like out with bomb disposal units now fucking cleaning toilets, right? They're still there with their hands in the fucking bog wiping it, right? Like, so why is this bloke on the street like got a robot to clean a bench that no one sat on? I don't understand. It makes no sense. It's kind of messed up, if I'm honest. I don't know where we're going. It literally, and it looks like Wally. It literally looks like Wally or Wall-E.
Mate, I see the other day that they've invented like a fridge, like a robot fridge that comes to you at the call. Like if you
Like a hotel.
No,
it's
like
that
a
one as
Samsung,
well.
like a Samsung. I think it's Samsung anyway. Fridge, right? And it's either on app or voice command. I'm not sure, but it drives to you.
What the fuck?
Can you
Yeah, you
imagine
call
how
that
creepy that would be, though? If you like just mid conversation and the fridge just comes like creeping around the corner, like. Hello.
Bro, in Milton Keynes in the UK, there's robots that deliver food now. I've seen, because my friend visits his missus there, and whenever they take the dog to the park, the dog's like just chasing these little carriages going along the path, and they've just got like one red flag. Yeah, like let me try and get a picture of one of them. This is crazy. It's like Uber Eats, right? But it's literally just these robots that go around Milton Keynes.
What's to stop someone from robbing that cart, though? Like, real talk.
I think I know it sounds stupid, but I think they're really heavy, and obviously they are police, they're watched and tracked, but I think they are like really heavy, mate. I think they're proper dead weights.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and see if I can get a picture.
Because wasn't Amazon gonna do like the delivery with drones and all that as well?
Yeah, so this is actually the same tech as Amazon had. This is like, let me try and save this image.
I just think that's a super bad idea with the drones. I really do.
Let's see if I can add this here.
It's super bad until they're super efficient and it's free delivery. Then it's a pretty good idea.
Okay, so I've just put it on stream. So these are the robots. They're actually going to join us on stream next week as a guest. They're in a guest spot.
Smaxy stealing one.
Yeah, Starship is going to be in the same studio actually as me. Same background, everything. But I don't own it, honest. Yeah, so these bad boys have been dropping food around Milton Keynes for a little while now, man. Way before the pandemic. Imagine getting your burger in that thing, bro.
Yeah. I guess they can keep it nice and warm as well.
Yeah, they do, man. They keep it warm, they keep it cold, like whatever it is. There's it can go both ways basically, both ends of the scale on that. They're pretty cool things. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who owns these ones, but I do know the tech behind these is the same ones that developed the Amazonian ones. But I thought that was quite interesting, mate.
It's definitely cool.
Yeah, that's the future, probably.
I'd rather that than some sweaty guy delivering it on a bike who stole some of my chips because he was hungry, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what happens here, mate.
Why you make me think about that now, man? I'm not gonna order.
Oh, bro, do you actually get access to that, bro? Like, I've never experienced anything other than Just Eating in the UK. I've never.
Yeah, I get Uber Eats, delivery.
That's nice.
Just Eat.
So, how much do you spend on a delivery cost? With them bad boys?
Between 3 and 6 quid and that.
I think it depends on the restaurant as well.
So, can you like buy a certain amount of food? So, if you bought like £40 worth of food as free delivery, or do you still pay? Or it just depends, just different, is it?
Not sure.
They have like some different deals.
Yeah. Oh, you use it as well, Refloss?
I've only used it a couple of times.
What one do you have over there?
Oh, we have like a Uber Eats and then one called Deliveroo.
Oh, Deliveroo,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got
Yeah,
Deliveroo.
we had Deliveroo.
Yeah. Oh god,
Then,
we're so similar,
fair,
mate. We're
it
so
sounds
far.
I thought
an
there was
Australian
maybe an
company,
Australian
to be
one
fair.
because it's kind of like kangaroo. But
Oh, yeah,
I
good
guess
point,
not.
Deliveroo and Roobet
Yeah.
needs to team up, don't they?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah, Roobet,
smashing.
that's what was it, like some Bahamas or something?
Yeah,
Is that what-
we traced it back. Actually, I traced that back to I know who owns it. I won't dox him on stream, but I'll tell you lot off stream. I actually managed to trace down the owner of it. Lives in the middle of nowhere in America. Actually, it's quite funny. But yeah, they're stationed in Belize. When we researched,
Oh yeah.
like set up in Belize, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, these robots, bro. I wonder what will happen next. I wonder if they're gonna sort of implement them on public transport. I feel like that would be the more sensible thing, rather than at open high street, like they've trialed this one in. I think maybe on trains, cleaning the toilets on the trains, maybe sanitizing the handrails on trains, buses, stuff like that. I can see that being the way forward. But
Yeah.
then they're all public. They're all privately owned companies now, right? They're not public. So, most of the country has it's like First buses. It's like big corporation. So unless that company says, "Oh, we're gonna get these robots on," like the government ain't really gonna fund it. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
So
where it goes.
Are they not run by the government?
Yeah,
in the
these
UK?
these trials. Oh, do you mean the buses or sorry?
Yeah, the buses.
No, so the buses are pretty much in all of the UK. The buses are run by privately owned companies now.
Yeah, they took away.
Okay.
They took away the like railway lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
everything is private now. So I think it happened about 10
Super
years ago.
expensive.
Say again?
And super expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
Trains are ridiculous.
Trains are extortionate, man. And the buses aren't too much better, I'll be honest with you, mate. And the buses put all these different catchment areas and stuff in. Like,
Yeah.
in cities that never had them before, they now, like... So, like, you get double charged just for, like, living in the same place you always live kind of thing.
The train transport's awful. Like, it is awful. It's never on time, and it costs an arm and a leg to get on it.
Yeah.
When I was working in Pompey, I had to catch a train there for. It cost me like £25,
Jesus Christ.
right? And it was never on time, so I was always late for work as well.
Whenever I went to London whenever I, because what is it, I think I maybe got this train to Cornwall 6 times. That was not very expensive for like the distance you're traveling and the hassle you're saving. And same with London, man. Like the London train's real quick from pretty much anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
and not too expensive, right?
What annoys me is that some days on the peak times you can pay £70 for a single from our area to there. Then other days off peak it's 15 quid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
£70 is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mate,
and it's not that far.
I've been going in the off-peak times though, bro, because I went for like 30 quid last time. It was like 30 quid last time.
That's
I
normally
went,
the
I think.
average. The very, it's just such a huge fluctuation of price.
Yeah, it's
That
ridiculous.
it's just
I'll tell you what
Yeah.
though, when I used to go to Cornwall, bro, I mean, I think I had to catch like 5 trains, and if I missed one in the middle, it would take me 7 hours to get there. But if I got them all, mate, it was like 5 hours flat, right? And it was nothing. It was like, I think it was about 70 quid, to be honest, bro. It was like, to travel all that way and just chill like the entire time. It was nice. It was nice. But
I'm never doing that journey on train ever again.
what, to
I've done it.
Cornwall?
I've done it once before to Newquay, And,
See, I didn't go to Nuki. I went.
Mate, it took me
Yeah.
8 hours, right? And I got all of the trains as well, and it cost me a fortune.
Yeah, because if you go Nuki, you actually go in the opposite way to where I had to like from my switch. I carried on down to the end of the coast, and then you would have switched up and gone gone left. That sounds odd,
Mate,
but on the train track.
You got
So long, and there was no room either. There was no room on the train, so I sat on the floor for 8 hours straight.
Fuck that. No, I didn't have that, bro. No one was on there, man. It was cushy. It was easy living, man.
That sounds awesome.
But yeah, I think eventually these robots will probably be implemented. So the trials are currently going through the government, right? So they're going through the councils. So Leeds Council, they're being tasked with the trial of these robots. But then I'm hoping that they're positive trials and then that private companies pick them up, such as like shopping centres or, public transport. Because I think, mate, it's useful to have good hygiene, bro. Like, I mean...
Especially at the moment.
Especially at the moment, yeah. But we are pretty nasty, bro. Like, the amount of people that cough and splutter and shit, they just don't... It's just... Like, there's so many people that don't have common hygiene. Like, they don't practice it, right? That maybe these things might help us. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think it's interesting, man.
I agree.
But anyway, guys, we have come to the end of the topics for today, mate. That was 5 very interesting topics, mate. I thank everyone for being here. Has anyone got anything else they'd like to add to any of the topics before I wrap this son of a gun up?
I can't say as I do, mate.
I think we had a good range of topics and conspiracy theories.
Hell yeah, man.
Kept it about
Yeah.
50-50.
Moments were...
I think we need a production
That's-
meeting
yeah.
on when the conspiracy podcast will be held.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And what style hats we need to make?
Yeah, man. I'll make the hats, mate. I'll start on it tomorrow.
Yeah, the tin foiling or something.
What we'll do is we'll all have different styles of hats made of tinfoil. So, like, cowboy hats, flat caps,
Mate,
beanies.
Yeah.
We'll all have different styles of hats.
snap back.
I got all sorts of hats. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
crazy.
mate, what you got to do, what you just got to tin foil your snapback, bro.
True.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll make a
sure.
cowboy one, man. I'll make a cowboy tinfoil hat. We'll have a
I
whole
got
collection.
a couple of funny hats as well. I think.
Yeah, if it blows up, we can make some merch, mate. It's really easy. We can produce it anywhere in the world.
Tinfoil merch.
Just
I
find
want
one tin.
I might wear one per subject.
That'll be so good, man. But
one of the hats with the windmills on the top.
oh, dude, an alfalfa hat, bro. They're fucking classics. Yeah,
bro.
man. Well, chat, I want to thank you all for stopping by the stream today and the podcast. I want to, of course, thank all of my guests, and I want to thank Spartan for coming through as well, man. I know you had to dip out, but much appreciated for stopping by. I want to just give everyone the opportunity to say their piece, let them know where they can find you, and make sure to follow these individuals, man, because they're helping me out with this podcast. They have great content of their own. And as we grow here on this channel, so will everyone else, right? That's the idea of this. So, Raggedy, Mike, if you want to give yourself a little shout out, my friend, please do so.
I just want to say thank you, Smexy, for having me this evening. It's been very enjoyable. Yeah, check me out on Instagram at MikeButcherTV for random stuff, extreme sports, and the like.
Hell yeah,
Thank
man.
you for having me tonight.
That's it. That's Mike Butcher at Mike Butcher TV on Instagram. Make sure you go and give him a follow for me. Also, Mike Butcher TV on YouTube. Make sure you go give that a follow. Got a nice new video up there. That's a banger. Go show some love. Subscribe, like. You know what I'm saying? Those little thumbs
you.
up. Go give them them. And thank you for being here tonight, man. Much appreciated as always. Of course, we have Riffloss, my G, from the land of Oz on that yellow brick road. Let the people know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me again this week, Smaxy. And then yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/Riffloss, on Twitter, RifflossTTV.
There you go.
And I know last week I said I was going to try and stream a bit more, so I'm going to say it again this week. I'm gonna try and stream a bit more, but Let's see how we go.
Hey, bro, if you do one more
No
hour
problem.
than last week, you're not lying to the chat, so it's all good.
yeah.
But no, we're gonna hold you to that. You're gonna do, what should we say? Should we say you're gonna get a good, say 20 hours in this week? You can fit 20 hours in the rest of the week.
Oh, I don't know.
4 or 5 hours.
I'll do 2 streams this week.
2 streams. All right, he's gonna do 2 10-hour
Nice.
streams. You heard it here first.
10-hour streams.
I'm joking around here. But make sure you catch this man at twitch.tv/riffloss. He's a gentleman, and he is now a streamer on Twitch. Part of the community, man. A lovely individual. Make sure you go support him, man. Follow, like, and make sure you give him a follow on his Twitter as well. What is that? Is it Riffloss TTV?
Riffloss. Yeah, Riffloss TTV.
Riffloss TTV on Twitter. Go show this man some love. Thank you again for being here, my friend. Last but not least, the man that is going to buy a bloody camera soon. I'll tell you, if not, I'm going to buy it for him. Wiley. Let them know where they can find you, my friend.
You can find me on Instagram at Josh_Joel_Wiley. Definitely need to work on that name, by the way. Yeah, I've been uploading more and more of my songs lately. Hopefully, gonna get some more out there sooner rather than later.
And hopefully, maybe see some stream of you in the future of you playing music as well. You haven't always got a game, remember? So hopefully, maybe
That'd
do
be
a little
good.
jamming session, bro. And I can even, we'd even do a little squad stream, bro. And I could do a little free or something if I don't know. We could just
man.
have a little jam, man. We can always do that, man. So less resources on your PC as well if we do that. If there's no game involved, so we should definitely try that, man. So that's Josh_Joel_Wiley, and of course Wiley_109 on Twitch.tv. My G, thank you very much for being here, my friend. And yeah, man, you've all been a great part of the podcast so far. This is season 1, episode 4 of the Reasoning 101. Julie, the farming queen, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. We're just finishing up here, but thank you nonetheless. We will be carrying on the stream shortly after we end this one with some games. But chat, I've been your host, Smaxy101. This has been the Reasoning 101. And until the next stream, thank you for all being here. Peace, one love, bless up, and I'll see you all on the next stream or podcast. Thank you very much. Peace. I want to thank everyone in chat for being here today. Much appreciated. Much love to each and every one of you. This music was composed and produced by Ty Green. You can find him on all social media. SoundCloud for his most recent tracks. Ty Green with 2 3s instead of the E's. That's TYEGR33N on SoundCloud. Also, Ty Green on Bandcamp and Spotify to help directly support this man. Great member of the community and an excellent producer. That's Ty Green on all social media. Special thanks to our sponsors of this podcast, Little Rick and Waterworn. !Little Rick and !Waterworn in the chat for your chance to get discount and amazing deals from those UK distributors. Thank you once again to my special cast and to chat. I've been your host, Smaxy101. See you on the next one.